Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus, and it's time for the Zen of the Gobon. Designed by Matt Doughty's wife, Michelle, this portly robot first appeared on the Glyos blog in 2007, but went into full production in 2009. The Gobon has become one of the most iconic standalone figures in Glyos, so let's see if we can find out why. In its basic assembly, a Gobon looks like a dopey, cute robot that wants to be hugged. The shapes that make up its body are awesomely plump in a mechanical way, topped off with amazingly cute, beady eyes. Rotating the head can give it a colder, visored visage, and add a small sense of danger to this otherwise adorable design. Now, rebuild the Gobon into its other main form, revealing the hidden head within its belly and inverting its torso. This Gobon looks like a dopey, muscle-bound robot that wants to smash your head into paste. I love the way that such a different identity and silhouette was practically built right into the base design of this figure. I also really dig the cycloptic jawed face of the secondary head. And in case you hadn't put it all together quite yet, these are the guys that the Gobon blasters are associated with. The effect isn't too groundbreaking, to be honest. It looks like the Gobon's cartoony mitt has simply fused into a blob with a hole on one end. However, as stated in the previous video, those add-on components accomplish more when used as build parts, rather than as simple weaponry. So can this doofy little dude move, kind of? His head swivels, his waist swivels, his other waist swivels. Technically, this big wheel in the middle of his belly can move on its own if you held these two pieces and kind of shoved it around. His hips go back and forth, his wrists swivel, his feet swivel, but they're identical all the way around, so you don't really notice it's happening. His shoulders have a swivel, but what's kind of cool is that the mounting angle means that they kind of hang down like this, but as you move them forward and up, they're moving at this slanted angle that makes for some interesting posing possibilities as they're going up and down, which I kind of like. This means that, like, this little dude can kind of raise his hands up and bring his hands together. If you put him into a kind of weird, like, I'm gonna punch you pose, it kind of works. It's just, because the shoulders aren't moving at a simple, like, straight vertical angle, there's a bit more life in them. I mean, that's what this little Gobon can do. If you're messing around with the more brutish-looking build, from the waist down, he's pretty much the same. But up here, these things are at simple 90-degree... Well, 90-degree, simple vertical cuts. There's a 90 degrees in here somewhere, I'm sure. And since the waist is flipped, this means that now you can actually spin this dude's shoulder blades around and get some cool-looking stuff going. This is real, like punch-o-matic. I'm going to just, like, come forward doing this, and if you get hit, it's your own fault. So the basic posability that you would expect from a little Glyos dude made of this many parts is there, and there's enough personality in there for it to, I think, kind of carry itself. But as for builds and things, these dudes have a Glyos peg hole for a fist hole. So that means anything with a Glyos peg can technically sit in their hands. So you can build, like, crazy huge guns for these guys, or in the simple case of one Gobon, you can have him wield his arm like a club, so he can just walk around just battering all the other Gobons around, going, I'm the clear Gobon, you see this thing in my belly? Scary face in my stomach is making me, oh! And then he gets just swatted. He gets just swatted out of the way by my Axis Gobon that I built like 5 seconds ago to show that these dudes have build options with whatever Glyos parts you have sticking around. Axis joints just are an easy one to show off because they allow you to have a bit more of a range of posability in the shoulders. They add this kind of, bulked out look. The white Gobon is super overexposed. And down here, even in the hips, like, now there's a bit of outward motion going on. I've got his older legs just kind of hanging off here like a pair of tassels. This is by no means the build extent of the Gobon. This is just an easy way to show you that, yes, the Gobon is part of Glyos and you can build stuff. There are some cool builds that have used, like, the tumbler part of the Gobon, not the, tumbler, this big round bit. Just use this as, like, a wheel. Or if you take one of these, you yank that head off, and then then you stick another one of these on. Get out of there. There we go. Now you've kind of got this like big pod or a huge wheel. The Tron bike build that Matt Dowdy did, I believe, used a trick like this. So there's stuff you can do with Gobons, but on their own, they're pretty characterful as well, and they're also super durable because they're big and thick, right? Like you see inside here how thick this is. I'm not gonna go all Tetrajet crazy, but I am gonna say like you can bang this dude around, throw him around. Like Gobons are tanks. Glyos is already a durable toy line. Gobons are doubly so. So, show some love to your Gobon, won't you? Gobons definitely have a number of aesthetics all to themselves at first glance, with their Boss Borot-esque husky bodies and tube-like limbs. Their look will either click with you or leave you wondering why. But if you end up getting into Glyos for more than one order, it's hard to resist adding these to your figure ranks, especially if you check out the passcode fiction on Glyos.com. I'd recommend trying out at least one if you're already doing an order and can spare the extra $10, as their sheer mass is something that's hard to convey until you have one in hand. Anyway, this has been internet personality Vangelus. When we next return to the Glyos system, we'll be looking at its cutest regular denizens. Get ready for the swarm.